Welcome to Social Media Business, the podcast that covers building, managing and monetizing social media. Brought to you by online community strategist Laurel Patworth. For more information, go to laurelpatworth.com.
The next question is from Monty, Paul Montgomery, Monty on Twitter, M0NTY. And he asked this question a while ago. I think I was doing a live Ustream chat and I forgot to answer it. So I'm going to answer it now. The question that he asked was about live streaming, or what we call synchronous chat in online communities. The service that he was talking about, which I don't quite remember, but it could have been Cover It Live or one of those live streaming chat channels that you can embed, and whether they should be used or not, and how they could be used. And I only remembered his question again yesterday when I was watching TEDX Sydney. TEDX Sydney is part of, the offshoot of TED Talks, and what I saw wasn't brilliant, but I don't think that it needed to be caned as much as it was on the website. So while I was watching the live show, the music and that sort of thing, there was live chat coming down the side of the TEDx page, and people were really very negative about the music that was being played and other things, and in fact much more so than they were being on Twitter. So if you followed the TEDx Sydney hashtag on Twitter, it was quite positive. On the side, it was quite negative. And I was thinking about it because over the years we've hosted a lot of these live chats and have pretty well got it down to a fine art. And what I realized with TEDx is that it was the inverse of what we do. So we have what we call a front of house channel. It's actually called House of Commons quite often, or the House channel. And that is the moderated chat channel. And this is where people have to be on their best behavior. We recommend that if people don't want to be on their best behavior, that they take it somewhere else. So we either run ourselves what we call a back channel, which is not obvious to people who aren't signed up. You have to sign in and then you get access to the channel. Or it's run on another site, for instance, Twitter. And just to backtrack a little bit before I go into the TEDx situation, I want to point out something. A lot of people have an issue with anonymity in online communities. Anonymous means not using your real name. So I use the name Silk Charm because I'm trying to hide my identity, which is not true. I have multiple identities like most people, and Silk Charm is my online persona. So anonymity means not using your real name and using a fake name such as Monkey or Monty or Silk Charm, or just using anonymous, not choosing any name at all. And anonymity is actually not as bad as unaccountability. So I don't tend to do anything too naughty under the Silk Charm name because too many people know it. I'm still accountable to the Silk Charm brand, and too many people now know the connection between Laurel Patworth and Silk Charm. But even if they didn't, even if I was hiding my identity in a health community or some other kind of community where I don't want to reveal personal information, over the years the brand of that username is built up, the collateral, the social influence is built up, so that you don't want to put incorrect information out there or start World War III if that's not part of your brand. The challenge with temporary chat channels where people can pick up any anonymous tag is that there's no accountability because there's no long tail of identity. So if I can come on, create an account, be on there for 10, 15 minutes, an hour, or even 1 day or 2 days, and then I'm gone, there's no accountability. I'm not worried about ruining my brand if I choose, Joe Smith as my nickname. So on Twitter, we have accountability. No matter what our username handle is, doesn't matter what we've chosen for our Twitter name, we have accountability because our friends are on there, people see what and watch what we're talking about and make judgment calls. They go back through our tweet stream, they're looking to pull information out. Those of us who've got a fairly large following know that we've got a lot of journalists watching us and other people waiting for us to make a misstep. It happens. You just have to live with those things. Accountability means just that. I think Twitter is an accountable site, but when you join a temporary chat channel to cover a live event, so synchronous chat over a short-term campaign, and what I mean by campaign is that viral spiked event where you have nothing, then quite a bit of a build-up, then a peak of activity on the day of the event, then it bit of a discussion for a day or two, a week afterwards, then it drops off. When the identity is only created for that event, you have much less accountability. So what we saw is people being accountable on Twitter, being politically correct, saying positive things about TEDx, or probably not saying anything at all if they didn't like it, but then on the main site, on the hub site, saying negative things because they could use any name they wanted, etc. And I didn't recognize any of the names on there. So I don't know if people were creating secondary accounts or what they were doing, but that's absolutely the inverse of what we would do with our live events. We would make the members accountable on the hub site and then throw them off onto any other chat channel that they wanted to go on for a back channel for the kind of snarky, nitpicky things that they get up to on the back channel. So with TEDx, I would really recommend that they embed a Twitter stream as the live chat. I thought that that's what they had done initially, but when I went back and checked, it didn't look like that. It looked like it was an embed service, and I don't know what service it was. And then use the pull only those things in that have the hashtag. And we've got the technology now and the APIs are intelligent enough to pull this sort of stuff out. In fact, it's now possible using the semantic web to pull out discussions about a TV show or about an event or conference without people having to use that hashtag. It's the internet is now intelligent enough to pull those tweets out without people having to actually manually tag them as being about that subject. So I guess what I'm saying, Monty, is that there needs to be moderated chat in certain situations, particularly on the hub site, particularly where you're going to reaffirm to the members under Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that pyramid, that they will be safe, that they'll be protected, that there's moderators, watching and looking after them, making sure that nobody makes threats to people or anything like that. But then you can't stop people talking. That's the whole point of the internet. So you point them to a back channel, or you point them to some other channel that's not the primary focus of discussion, and send them over there where if they want to swear or get into arguments and have heated debates. It's amazing what comes under the umbrella of heated debates. I wasn't, belittling him, or I was having a heated debate. Yeah, right. So moderate certain situations, have a back channel somewhere else, but I would certainly inverse what they did at TEDx, without a doubt.
Welcome to Social Media Business, the podcast that covers building, managing and monetizing social media. Brought to you by online community strategist Laurel Patworth. For more information, go to laurelpatworth.com.